Alright, now let me show you how to actually use Twitter and navigate the interface. Right now we're logged into the PAFP account, and I'll show you how the desktop client looks on practically every browser and every type of computer. So Twitter is a website, and this layout will look the same on every person's Twitter account. It doesn't matter if you're on a Mac, PC, or on a Linux machine. This layout is just the same. It may look different in design. We have our branded swoosh image in the back. That is something that you can change under account settings, but Twitter gives you several different backgrounds that you can use no problem. And then if you are of a design sort and you want to create your own background, you can actually upload a different background to your page. But that's under account settings, and that's for another video. Now let's take a look at this layout here. We have a two-column layout. And the left-hand side column shows a bunch of information here of who to follow, and you can change, you can refresh this to change out different people that you might want to follow. You have this section here which shows you your avatar and shows you your username and shows you three different things here. We are following, we have 941 followers at this current point in time of this video, and we can click this to see all the followers. So it'll take us to the Me section, and it'll show us our username, our avatar, our actual Twitter handle with the @ symbol in front, and a little short description about us, and we can see all the people who are following us. And you can also see the ones that we're following back. So that's important to know. If you want to see how many people are following you, you can always click on followers. Now, following is the number of people that we're actually following. So from the PAFP handle, these are all the people that we're actually following and getting their information. So following is all of these tweets. Everyone that we're following, we're getting all of their information. So that's how this works. This is what the tweets are. The more people that you are following, the more tweets that you're going to get, because it's X amount of people that you're following and X amount of times that they tweet throughout the day. So the less amount of followers that you have, you're going to get only so many tweets, depending on how active that they are. If you have a lot of people that you're following, you're going to be inundated with tweets because they will tweet more often as well. So really, it's just a simple numbers game of how often this section here gets updated. So that is what the tweets section is. Now you'll notice that when you have new tweets, it'll be denoted saying, hey, you have new tweets. Right now we have 2. And this will also change. You'll see this little blue underline light here. When that happens, you know that there's a correlation. And it's dynamic too. The more tweets that you have, it just shows up here, and this number will keep rising unless you click it, and then you'll be shown all those new tweets, and you'll see the blue light underneath the home goes away. The same thing happens with @Connect. @Connect takes you to a section where people have responded as a reply, have retweeted you, or have favorited a tweet. So what does that mean when you favorite a tweet? When you favorite a tweet, you are actually clicking and letting that person know who tweeted this, hey, I really like this post. So I just clicked on the Illinois Academy of Family Physicians post here, and I favorited this. So on their @Connect, this will have a little blue light underneath here, and it'll say that PAFP likes this. And you can see, because when people have favorited ours, it lets us know. So Primary Care Progress favorited our one tweet. Why would you want to favorite a tweet? If you are talking with your colleagues and they have posted something that's really insightful, or something that you really agree with, you can favorite that, and it lets them know, hey, that their tweet was saw and that someone really liked it. But you don't have to reply to it. You can just let people know that you really liked it. A reply is something different. A reply means that you liked it, but you're actually replying to them and responding back to them, actually having a discourse back and forth. So you go to reply, and you actually get a little box to say something back to them. Great news. So what happens then is that you replied, and that person is going to get it under their @Connect. So they're going to go to theirs, and they're going to see, oh, hey, someone actually said something to us. Like here, we actually had a reply. And you can see how the conversation works when you see hide conversation, view conversation. So you can see what people are replying to. That's something that Twitter has added so that you know how the conversation is being directed and how the conversation is evolving. You can have multiple people reply to your one tweet, and you'll have many different people denoted in here as well. So that is how you reply to a tweet. That is how you favorite a tweet. The last thing is retweet. Retweet is something that you take what they have tweeted and just share it out. So we're going to retweet something here. And so it's going to say, hey, do you want to retweet this to your followers? And it's showing you how the tweet is set up. You'll see this RT, which means, hey, this is a retweet, and it's from this Twitter handle. And it's then the same, the same tweet, the same information that they had put in their tweet with the same link. So we could say, cancel, we don't need to retweet this. We could buffer the retweet, which I'll go over how Twitter apps work, because this works like scheduling. Or I could just automatically retweet this right now, and it goes out automatically to all of the people that are following me. Or I could cancel and hit this X. Those two are the same things. But this is how the desktop client works for retweeting. Why would you want to retweet? Say you are also following organizations and their doctors, something that you really liked, so you favorited it. Maybe you replied to it, and you say, hey, this is really good information. I want to share this to the people who are following me. That is why you would want to retweet something. So that is basically how, that's like the meat and potatoes, 90% of everything that you can do on Twitter in regards to interacting with other people's tweets and posts. But to show you how we're actually going to tweet something, if I could type don't need to put social media in there. All right, let's break this down. Before I hit tweet, I want to show you what we're actually doing here in this tweet. We are typing up to 140 characters, and as you can see, the more characters I type, this number is dynamically changing to say how much character space I have left. So writing a tweet is actually very much akin to writing a headline for newspapers, if you really want to think about it that way. The same mentality of think like a publisher, talk like a friend also applies to Twitter. So you want to be able to write something that people are going to see and it is applicable to everyone, but you also want to write it in a way that sounds like it's coming from a real person, not a robot. So a little bit more difficult to do on Twitter, but when it's done correctly, it's very effective. So let me break down this box even more. You can also add a location to where you're at. So you can turn locations on, off. This is actually really helpful if you are tweeting, doing live tweets from an event. But the other one here is add a photo. And add a photo lets you grab your library from your Finder to grab a photo and place in here. And it will show up as a link. So links look like this. They are shortened sometimes, and they're blue, and they turn underlined when you hover over them. The same idea works for hashtags. And hashtags are searchable terms that you use the number symbol in front of so that people can then search them through this bar. And I'll go over hashtags in another video, But that's how you denote a hashtag, is putting the number symbol, the pound symbol, and typing out a phrase that's commonly used, and you can then tweet this out. And we're going to tweet. Your tweet has been posted, and now we can see our tweets that we make in the tweet section here. So we can actually see when we tweet things, and when people then interact with this tweet, we will see it underneath the connect sign here. The last thing here is @discover. So hashtag discover. So this is the hash symbol, the pound symbol, you call it what you want. A lot of people just say the hashtag or the pound symbol. And this is what's happening right now. And this is based off of an algorithm that goes through your followers and the topics that you like and that you have followed a lot. And it tries to find information that is important to you, that you might find interesting. So this is a very good section to find really good content and really good news. But you don't have to use this section. What we really find that most of your information is going to come from your tweets. So the last portion here is me. And what this does is show all your tweets, all your followers and the people that you're following, your favorites, things that you have favorited recently, and lists, which are very powerful because you can create a list and include different people and different hashtags into that list. All the photos and videos that we have posted recently, an idea of who to follow, and this last portion here, which is a little bit cut off, just shows trends, things that have been posted a lot lately that are really popular, and you can then follow those. So the next thing we're going to talk about is the direct messages. Direct messages are very much like private messages between two people and organizations. You can actually tweet at somebody and it will only go to them. So you can create a new message and you can type in someone's Twitter handle, and if someone that you're following, and you can send them a direct message. It still has to be 140 characters or less, but it will show up to them under here as a private message. The last portion up here is settings. So you can see edit your profile, lists, help, keyboard shortcuts, Twitter ads, settings, and then your sign out. This one button here, which is kind of redundant if you're on your home page, is create a tweet. You could do it either through this big blue button up here, or you can create it right here as well. So the next video I'll show you how to adjust your settings for Twitter.